This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 1678. What exactly are METs, and what should you know about them? By James Roland with Healthline.com, and I'm your host and narrator, Dr. Neil Malik. Hey there, happy middle of the week Wednesday, and welcome back to Optimal Health Daily, where I read to you from the best health and fitness blogs for free. Now, before we get started, if we want to stay healthy, we need to keep a healthy gut microbiome. This connection has been widely recognized by leading scientists studying diabetes, including the American Diabetes Association, the Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins, and others. And pendulum glucose control is the first and only medical probiotic clinically shown to help manage type 2 diabetes when taken with medication. If you or someone you love has type 2 diabetes, take control of glucose levels with pendulum glucose control. Use code OHD at pendulumlife.com to get 20% off your first month of membership. Now, it is the middle of the week, and like I do every Wednesday, I want to share a little bit of inspiration with you. So here we go. Quote, "There is no such thing in anyone's life as an unimportant day." Alexander Woollcott. Now, before we get to the post, today's topic, this idea of METs, this is not the New York Mets. This was actually something I had to learn when I was studying to become a certified exercise physiologist. Let's just say I really struggled with this concept of METs. It took me a while to get a grasp on what this concept really means. I just wish I had access to today's article back then to help explain it to me. So with that, let's get right to today's post and start optimizing your life. What exactly are METs, and what should you know about them? By James Roland with Healthline.com. You're probably aware that your body burns energy all the time, no matter what you're doing. But have you ever wondered how much energy you're burning throughout the day, or when you're indulging in big-time calorie burners like running or lifting weights? One way to calculate your body's energy expenditure is with metabolic equivalents, also known as METs. You might see METs listed on exercise equipment, or mentioned by personal trainers to help you measure your physical activity. In this article, we'll take a closer look at how METs work, how to calculate them, and how to use them to help you reach your fitness goals. What is a MET? A MET is a ratio of your working metabolic rate relative to your resting metabolic rate. Metabolic rate is the rate of energy expended per unit of time. It's one way to describe the intensity of an exercise or activity. One MET is the energy you spend sitting at rest, your resting or basal metabolic rate. So, an activity with a MET value of 4 means you're exerting 4 times the energy than you would if you were sitting still. To put it in perspective, a brisk walk at 3 or 4 miles per hour has a value of 4 METs. Jumping rope, which is a more vigorous activity, has a MET value of 12.3. How are METs calculated? To better understand METs, it's helpful to know a little bit about how your body uses energy. The cells in your muscles use oxygen to help create the energy needed to move your muscles. One MET is approximately 3.5 milliliters of oxygen consumed per kilogram of body weight per minute. So, for example, if you weigh 160 pounds or 72.5 kilograms, you consume about 254 milliliters of oxygen per minute while you're at rest, 72.5 kilograms times 3.5 milliliters. Energy expenditure may differ from person to person based on several factors, including your age and fitness level. For example, a young athlete who exercises daily won't need to expend the same amount of energy during a brisk walk as an older, sedentary person. For most healthy adults, MET values can be helpful in planning an exercise regimen, or at least gauging how much you're getting out of your workout routine. Examples of METs for various activities. Researchers who have monitored oxygen consumption in the muscles of people performing various activities have been able to assign MET values to those activities. These values are based on a person weighing 70 kilograms, or about 154 pounds. What's a good goal to shoot for with METs? The American Heart Association recommends at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity aerobic exercise each week for optimal cardiovascular health. That's equal to about 500 MET minutes per week, according to the Department of Health and Human Services. How you reach those goals, whether it's through running, hiking, weight training, or any other activity, is less important than simply striving for those targets. What's the connection between METs and calories? You may be more familiar with calories than METs, especially if you pay attention to the calories you consume and burn each day. What you also likely know is that the more oxygen your muscles use, the more calories you burn. What you may not know is that you have to burn about 3,500 calories to lose 1 pound of body weight. That means if you reduce your calorie intake by 500 calories, or burn 500 more calories each day than you consume, you may be able to lose a pound a week. So if you know the MET value of a particular activity, can you figure out how many calories you're burning? Well, you can probably come up with a close estimate. The formula to use is METs times 3.5 times your body weight in kilograms divided by 200. This will tell you how many calories are burned per minute. For example, say you weigh 160 pounds, or again, approximately 73 kilograms, and you play singles tennis, which has a MET value of 8. The formula would work as follows. 8 METs times 3.5 times 73 kilograms divided by 200 equals 10.2 calories per minute. So if you play tennis for an hour, you'll burn about 613 calories. You could also describe that tennis workout as equal to 480 MET minutes. 8 METs times 60 minutes. The bottom line. A MET is a way to measure your body's expenditure of energy. The higher the MET value of a particular activity, the more energy your muscles will need to expend to do that activity. Knowing the MET value of an activity can also be helpful in calculating how many calories you burn during exercise. Aiming for at least 500 MET minutes a week is a good goal for optimal cardiovascular health. How you reach that goal is up to you. You can perform moderate exercise like brisk walking over a longer period of time, or you can do more vigorous activity like running for a shorter period of time. You just listened to the post titled, What Exactly Are METs and What Should You Know About Them? By James Roland with Healthline.com. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. Today's author James did such a great job explaining a topic that can get really confusing really quickly. The bottom line is that METs can be used as another way to track your activity. You could track your steps, you could track your minutes, or your distance, or your calories burned, or your METs. The potential advantage to using METs over some of the other methods is that, as James said, METs can actually provide you with multiple pieces of information all at once. If you know your MET value, you can actually estimate how many calories you've burned during that workout, or how many calories you burn per minute. You can get a sense of the intensity, and use that value to compare it to a set standard. All right, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening every day. I hope you're having a wonderful week so far, and I'll see you back here tomorrow where your optimal life awaits.